Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PSGL Season 26 FP Round 11 at Bahrain. I am your new commentator for the rest of the season, Aaron Neon, or Jared Fosbury, also will be your commentator hopefully next season for FP. We have a 17 car grid, which is awesome. Decent turnout, would have been 18 if I was still in the Ferrari, but I prefer doing comms for FP. So, we're on board with Ash right now, who's the first one out on a lap. He's not on the Williams this week, he's actually in the Haas. So hopefully we've seen a better performance for him this week, and he will be the first one to set a flying lap while we wait for him to go around these circuits. As he now goes round the final corner. Down at the home straight. To begin his flying lap. Approaching turn 1 now, goes second here, bit of a lock-up, drops to first, short shift to third. Average exit there from Ash, activates his DRS. As he's now approaching turn 4 to using the exit curb. That's an okay exit on that Haas there. Predictions for quali and race, yeah, I can do that. Well, I think, well, we'll do the race when we go on the formation lap, but the quali, I've been in this grid for a while, so I think probably Bugatti will probably be 4th. Third, maybe one of the AlphaTauris, I think probably 3 gloves, and then second, I think Greeny, and first I think will be Callum. I think Callum could take first in quali. Although one Ash right now, who's finishing his laps, looked very strong, not invalidating us as an Alpha, I believe, or Ferrari. Going slow in sector 1 as he's letting the car through, but here comes Ashton as he sets the first lap time, a 1:27 flat then, as the next up is actually CC, who's coming to the line, and he does a 1:26.5, so he instantly beats that by 5/10 there, so he will be happy with that already to get first. What about Callum Anderson? It isn't Callum actually, it's Sam, who's done a 1:29.5 on mediums as a banker. As the race points just crossed the lines, now we have an AlphaTauri of Dre, I believe this is. It's Dre. Dre is now coming to the line, and he's going to do a 1:28.1, goes third quickest at the moment, as the other race point of Cowboy, I believe. Or was it actually? It's Game Freak, my apologies. Game Freak then goes second with a 26.7, as Ulrich Jr. is coming up to the line. And it goes third quickest with a 1:26.9, 3 gloves, peels into the pits, as then Mr. Callum Anderson in the mediums, struggling with the rear end, and he's into the wall. And is that him out? No, luckily he isn't out there. He's very lucky, and as a shame for Callum, he's got major front wing damage, and he's already not liking the circuit already. So now we have Bugatti coming to the line, and his lap has invalidated, but he is now starting a flying lap of Greeny, who's now next. I was just trying to get onto him quick enough. He got second quickest with the 26.694 right now. So on board with Gatti then, who is the defending FP champion. Let's see what he can do. Sector 1 looked decent. The guy is also 5th at the moment in the driving standings, so he is actually a factor for this championship still. He has a purple sector 1 apparently, so he's looking good for the fastest lap. So the Alphas are going to be looking close. Bit of a massive lock up there on the double left-hander. So it's really struggling with that right now. Purple in sector 2, so right now the Alfa Romeo is looking good for Bugatti to take pole position, as he's very close there of invalidating. Gets a better exit than what Callum did. Coming to the line then, DRS activated, using all the ERS battery, and there's a 126 flat there, so 5/10 quicker than CC, and he's definitely going to be happy with that, as the next driver who's up is actually AMS. He's on an out lap. Is anyone actually finishing a lap? Not to my knowledge. Oh look, we'll go on AMS, board with AMS then, who's beginning his flying lap in the Renault. Currently set in 14th with no lap time set on the medium compound of tyre, as there is no threat of rain, so I think it's basically a safe bet not to have any rain for the race. So he will be on mediums if he wants to qualify in the top 10, as he locks up there into turn 4, as he's now ending sector 1 to now into sector 2. Isn't purple, he's only 28.2 in sector 1, so he isn't the quickest, as he's now into the hairpin. Another lock up on that right front. A lot of people are struggling with the brakes around here, and the tyres weren't locking up at every corner. A little bit of lock up again. It wasn't as extreme as what Bugatti had. Have a look, AMS, good exit, as now he's actually about to pass Bugatti, as Bugatti's letting him through. Purple in sector 2, so AMS is up on his time and looking good for a good qualifying position, but it may say he's purple, but I don't think he will be challenging for pole, especially on medium, so I think he's going to be at least doing a 27, maybe a mid 27 though, but he's coming to the line and it's going to be a mid 27. He does a 27.6, goes 8th quickest, and will be happy with that. I believe he's the highest medium runner. Yes, he is at the moment. He is the highest medium runner, as Callum Anderson is on a lap right now, as we'll go on board with him. Into turn 4 now, as we go on a TV pod view. Through turn 5, and now 6, into 7. Nice and flowing through there. Now into the hairpin of turn 8. Massive lock up there on the right front. That ain't going to help. Probably cost him a bit of time. It doesn't affect his exit. He's now going for the tricky double left-hander, which is very easy to lock up on, and he doesn't lock up there, so that's good for Callum, as he's now picking up the pace, as he's actually clutching up on a car ahead of him, and that's a racing point. And I believe it is Game Freaker, so Game Freaker is just ahead, and we'll have to move out the way he does. Respect that. That's Callum in now, sector 2, purple. So Callum's looking strong for a very good lap. Hopefully he doesn't mess up this time where he did earlier at the final corner. Almost lost complete control of the car and almost lost the wheel. As he's now coming to the final corner now. Another lock up on the right front. So a lot of people are going to have struggle on the right side of the car and tyre wear. Have a look, Callum Anderson coming to the line. What time will it be? And it's going to be second place with a 26.4. So Callum has got the pace there, it looks like, around here to possibly challenge for a podium or even a win. As Bugatti, I believe now, is just leaving the garage and goes behind Game Freaker, as we now go on board with Dre, who's just about to finish his flying lap. He's actually, I believe, no he's not, he was the 200 point leader, it's now 3 gloves. He's in second right now, and here comes Dre then, and he does a 26.7, goes 5th quickest right now, so he'll be happy with that, and only a 10th off Greenie. And he's ahead of 3 gloves, who's currently in 15th with no lap time set, as we go on board with 3 gloves right now, who's the 200 points leader, as the Red Bull there of Ulrich has gone off on the double fast right hander, just entering sector 3, so I'm guessing he's touched the curb somehow, as 3 gloves there struggled in the hairpin, it looked like, for turning. A bit of a lock up, as you can hear the tyres screeching a little bit. Well, he gets a decent exit down the little straight where we could possibly see overtaking moves if people get good enough exits. Purple in sector 2 now, he's looking good for a good lap. Right now Dre is in 6th, so this will be great for 3 gloves to try and catch up with one of his championship rivals, who's done a 26 flat in the Alfa Romeo, who's now actually about to start his flying lap. And we'll go on board with Bugatti next, who's currently in first. Here goes Three Gloves then. Goes 10th quickest with a 27.1. Someone's just improved though, and I'm guessing that is Sam. Sam goes second with a 26.2 there. So both McLarens look like they're going to challenge Alphas as people now slowing down in sector 3 there, I think, getting ready for their laps. So on board with Bugatti there, another lock up on the right side of the car. Isn't going to be helping him in the race. Oh, purple in sector 1, 600s up. Comes in stepping, another lock up. God, a lot of people are locking up round here this weekend. It's now coming the double left-hander. I think I saw a bit of a lock up on the left side of the car, but he gets a decent exit there. DRS activated. Down the little straight. And there's more yellow flags in sector 3. That's just people slowing down and going into the pits. There's no one crashing or anything. As Juho is about to start his flying lap, as we'll go on board with him after Bugatti set his fastest lap time, as I believe that is Game Freaker there, who moves out of the way for Bugatti since Cowboy's still in the pits. Bugatti there was actually off track there, but Bugatti struggling on the left side of the car, and oh god, he almost went, and just too much power on the revs there, and almost lost control of the car and could have got wing damage or even worse, retire. However, on board with the Mercedes of Juho, the only Mercedes who will do qualifying, since Matt isn't doing it, do quali. He just does the race and tries to make something work, because Juho's really struggling for the turn in there into the hairpin. Not a good entry, it looked like. Let's see what he can do then, as he's the only person actually. Oh, as he's losing the rear end. God, he's really struggling with that Merc. But he's the only person who actually hasn't set a lap time yet. He is on the softs, there's 5 minutes remaining, so he's got a choice: either do this lap and risk not getting a lap at the end of the session, or pit and wait to the end and do one quick lap. Let's draw then. It is now coming through the final corner. And it peels into the pits, so that's his lap over then. Go on board with his Dino isn't on a lap, he's a second off. And he's actually backing off, so he is actually pitting then. So go on board with AMS, who is the car ahead of Ulrich, who's currently 9th with 26.9. AMS done a 27.6 on mediums, so the mediums tyres are not a good option, as he's purple in sector 1 this time. So he is looking confident on pace. As green, he's now leaving the garage, and he's actually causing the yellow flags in turn 1. But I think that's just him slowing down to make the corner. AMS locking up again, the double left-hander, which has hindered him a little bit on the exit there. He was a bit hesitant on the throttle. Right now, AMS doing a very nice and tidy lap, clips the curb. Nice and tidy there from AMS. Let's see what his sector 2 time is. It is purple, it's 8/10 improvement, which would be 26.8 roughly. And he needs to find a lot more time, as he's now coming through the final sector, the quickest sector of the track. Up the gear 4, he's very close to losing it there as he went up, and he's backed off and he's pitting. Has he got enough time to do the lap, as Ulrich is apparently 10.7 seconds off his lap? Not surprised, he is in the 1 minute 30, so he's probably made a mistake somewhere, probably in sector 1. And there we go, we have nobody setting lap times yet, so we might as well go on board with Grinny, who will be the first and his first person on his last qualifying attempt, with 2 minutes 50 seconds remaining of the session. So everybody will be coming out very soon to do their final runs, and very quick runs, and hopefully don't hinder each other. As Green then come around the final corner to begin his last flying lap and see if he can challenge for pole position, which is currently a 26 flat. His fastest lap at the moment is a 26.6, so he has to find a lot of time, probably 6/10, 7/10 at most. It's a challenge for pole. If he wants to guarantee pole, he needs to find at least 8/10. But Greeny in the Haas, he was nice. Oh, and that's it. That's his lap, and he's invalidated already, and he will be furious with that. And he will be, if he doesn't get round enough, quick enough. I think he will have enough time to do another lap on those tyres, but it's going to be his choice if he wants to do that, because tyre wear can still be a thing around here. So he'll be annoyed with that. As I think Dre was next up. Yeah, Dre was next up to begin his flying lap. As good evening, Alamander. It's good to see you. As we now have Dre then coming into the final corner, and he's going to begin his flying lap. As yellow's there, I think people are just slowing down to have a gap. As we have 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining of the session. And here comes Dre then. Down the long straight into turn 1. Stayed in second gear, don't go to first, and didn't want the extra turn in there, but it is what it is. As there's more yellows, that's a Ferrari slowing down, I think. It is a Ferrari slowing down, I'm guessing that's Sutty. Right now though, Dre entering sector 1. What's his first sector going to be like? Purple, 10th and a bit up on his lap time at the moment, which would be a 26.6, possibly a 26 high 5. But let's have a look. Right now Dre has not the best exit out of the hairpin there. There's more yellows, just people trying to get space. As Greeny now is in the pit, so is he doing another? He's actually doing another run. No, Greeny's actually gone off, I think. I think he's letting everybody through. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified or retire, because it will go back on track and probably cost people time. I'll let Dre on his lap. Sector 2, 1.5 tenths up, so he hasn't really gained that much straight. So I think best lap he's probably going to do is a mid 26, not a low 26. I don't think that's possible unless he finds a lot of time in the final corner, which could be possible. You may get a little slipstream with Dino, which isn't intentional, because Dino's actually beginning his flying lap, and he's coming to the line, and it's going to be a mid 26, 26.5 there. Goes 6th quickest. Greeny isn't improving, so Greeny's dropped down to 7th now. As the next up, I believe it's Cowboy. No, it's not. It's Game Freak who's coming to the line then. Game Freak goes 4th quickest with a 26.385. So he will be happy with that lap. The next up is Three Gloves, who is championship point leader, almost 3 tenths apparently up in Sector 2. So Three Gloves could be close to Dre if he can nail the final corner and get in some more time. As we'll go on board with Juho, who's now going to settle up on mediums, who's next. Three Gloves goes 9th with a 26.7 on it, gains 1 position on Ulrich, as Juho is next. He is coming to the line, and he's done a 1:31.3. CC Pitts. What about Bugatti? Will he improve? He doesn't, just misses out there, and that's a shame, as Cowboy goes 8th, and I believe that's Nano Bacon. No, it's AMS. AMS goes 13th. We have now Callum Anderson coming to the line. So that was Sam actually coming to the line. He's a 26.1. Callum Anderson coming around the final corner. He has the other runner of Nano Bacon just ahead of him, who's coming into the pits. What about Callum? Will he beat the pole lap? He's getting close. He does improve by 1600ths there. Goes 7th quickest, because Dino has just done an astonishing lap there. There's a 126 flat. Just beats Bugatti by a couple hundredths. Good lap there from Dino. And Greeny has been disqualified for driving the wrong way. That makes sense. How did he get disqualified? Where is he even at? Okay then, I'm guessing he was on the 2nd straight. That's where he must have gone. Oh well, that's unfortunate for Greeny. He will be starting at the back of the grid. I know Matt won't be happy with that, because he likes to start at the back of the grid. However, here is the official qualifying results then. Dino, by 600ths of a thousandth of a second, takes first place with Bugatti 2nd, Sam in 3rd, so 3 British drivers there, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. CC 4th, Game Freak at 5th, Ulrich Jr. at 6th, Callum Anderson 7th, Dre in 8th, Cowboy in 9th, Nano Bacon 10th, Three Gloves 11th, Ash, a bit better qualifying result this weekend, in 12th, Sutty 13th, AMS 14th, Juho Finn in 15th on mediums. Matt Romano, who didn't set a lap time, and Greeny unfortunately went from 8th to 17th by getting disqualified in quali. There's a lot of people saying nice lap for Dino, and gotta say, Dino surprised us there and took pole position in quali, which is a good lap as well to beat Bugatti. Well, then, while we wait for the loading time for people to pick their setups, I will do my race prediction, as I said, in quali in formation lap. But it's going to be very similar to my quali prediction. Maybe a few little tweaks. Could have a surprise person win this race. Could even have Matt Romano come and win this race, to be honest. So as we go to the countdown, everyone now has their little tweaks of setups, their fuel loads, their race strategy, everything what they need as the formation lap is underway. As Dino's very eager to get underway then, as not everybody's set off yet because waiting. Who's dropped? Someone's dropped significantly back of the grid. It's Nano. Nano's dropped all the way to the back and now re-overtaking everybody. Interesting. Well then, as I said, I'll do my prediction. So, I think the top 4 then, I'm going to say CC takes the win. Game Freak is second, Bugatti third, and fourth, I'm going to go with Dino. I think Dino, even though he's first out now and he had a good quali, maybe to just play it safe in the Ferrari and may not have the best race pace or anything like that, I think he'll get fourth. But, you know, he could surprise me and actually take the win, so we'll have to wait. But that is my prediction. If you guys want to put your prediction in the comments, do put them there. And I will read them out as if I see them, of course, as long as there's no chaos into turn 1. Which I have seen before at Bahrain. As both Mercedes 15th and 16th, Juho and Matt, both with different strategies. Matt is on hard tyres, Greeny's on hards, Juho and AMS on mediums, Sutty surprisingly has gone softs. That is interesting. Ash's on hard tyres as well, and 3 Gloves on mediums. So will be interesting because I think it is a 2-stop for the FP guys with everything. As David said, Game Freaker, CC Brain and Dino for the top 3 then. Could easily happen. You could get your prediction right and that could be the top 3 at the end of the race. Well then, Dino then is now going to the grid to line up on the grid. And now I just have to wait for everybody else. And it's great to see nobody's actually being disqualified on the formation lap. So everyone will have heat in their tyres. And we can have a very clean and exciting race. Hopefully it's more exciting than China. Since F4 at China wasn't really that exciting. There was hardly any overtakes. Hopefully we can have a lot of overtakes today and a lot of clean racing. As we get the predicted pit stop. And it looked like they're going to try a 2-stop strategy. Soft, medium. Interesting. Well then. Here's the light sequence going to go. There we go. We're now to 4 to 5 red lights for PSGL Season 26 FP. Round 11 at Bahrain, the lights are out and it looks like Dino's had a very wheelie spin start there, and as we're going on board with Bugatti, Bugatti has nothing to answer for the Ferrari. CC already makes the move into second place. Will Bugatti be sending it? No, he doesn't, but CC then sends it in between the Alpha and the Racing Point. Is there going to be contact between Bugatti and Game Freaky? Yes, there was. But CC then moves into second place as there's already fights already down the field. Everyone's going side by side trying to make overtakes as quick as possible. As now we can see Sam fighting with Ulrich Jr., who's had a very good start now in 6th place. Cal Manson's dropping grid. Oh, there's a car off. I see an Alfa. That's 3 gloves. That's a championship point leader. That isn't good for him. He will be losing a lot of points if he doesn't score any today. And that is a shame there for him, as there's more contact. The other championship rival, Dre, who's second in the championship standings, is also around. So both Alvatories are around then, and that isn't good. This has opened the door for Bugatti, and the other championship rivals in the standings right now. Let's speak about Bugatti. He's losing pace to CC, and is now under threat by Game Freaker, who's in the race point in 4th, and may get him on the straight, because that engine in the Mercedes is a bit better than the Ferrari. As it comes again with a predicted stop strategy though. As we see that Cowboy is looking to possibly make a move in Junior, as he's struggling there. You can see on the final corner, he didn't have that much turning. Dino sets the current fast lap, especially since the first lap. But I can see a Renault behind. I think that's Nano Bacon. As Game Freaker passes Ulrich Jr. As we're going on board with Nano Bacon right now, who's sending it on Sutty, who is basically my Ferrari. But I did give it him back. And Sutty then drops to 12, and unfortunately he can't have anything to answer to the Renault. Do we see that Game Freaker trying to hold his position against Ulrich just behind him. Sorry, not Game Freaker, Cowboy. It's just the grid thing's all messed up. But he's getting really challenged now by Ulrich, trying to possibly go around the outside. He's going to do the switch. Ulrich gets a decent entry there, but not a good exit, and the race point holds him up for now. And this is great news for Callum, because he can let these two fight a little bit. Oh, a bit of contact. Hitting him in the rear end twice there. As Ulrich is trying to just say, get out of the way, I'm quicker. But that Mercedes engine is not going to help you overtake him on the straight. So, Cowboy moves into 7th place, and this is good for him for the championship standings. So he can gain points on the championship rivals. As I believe right now, though, there's possibly going to be an overtake for 5th place. As we'll keep an eye out. Okay, I don't get those messages why they've been deleted, but I'm guessing that's somebody who shouldn't be here. Well then, new fast lap set by Bugatti, 30.6, and Bugatti's now starting to reel in his teammate as we now go on the position changes from lap 3 now. As we can see there, Callum Anderson there, late, makes move on Ulrich and moves to 7th place. But Ulrich is trying to come back, and Ulrich almost makes a mistake there, and that's not good for Ulrich now, as he could be under threat by Renault of Nano Bacon. Cheers, Alamander. It's annoying when you get idiots who just spam like that. As position gains and changes, then the biggest losers in the positions lost is Dre and Three Gloves. They've lost 8 or 6 positions. The biggest gainers in the first couple of laps are actually Cowboy, Sutty, AMS. Sorry, no, that's actually wrong. It's Greeny. Greeny's actually gained 5 positions, already into 12th place. So that's good for him, as there's a lot of positions have changed. As that Red Bull's just got no power on the straight. It's just basically good in the corners. We're going to go on board with Bugatti now, as he's really starting to catch up with CC. So have these three already starting to wear out their soft tyres already, as we have a 5-way fight basically for the lead. Sam, Game Freaker, Bugatti, CC and Dino. It's going to be interesting as well, especially for the Alfa Romeos, because they can't double stack, so they're going to have to negotiate when one of them's going to pit. CC is going to make a move. Dino defends and he's literally got nothing to answer for the Alfa Romeo. But don't count out Bugatti. We're going to almost go 3 wide a little bit there. And Dino has just been passed by both Alfa Romeos. And now Bugatti's probably fancying his chance on first place. CC then is going to have to defend. He is defending there. Bugatti's going to try and go around the outside as we go on another camera shot. Bugatti is trying to switch, can't get it working right now. CC's going to hold it. They're going to try and go side by side, but Bugatti's smart, stays behind at the moment, because if there was a contact there, it would have been his fault. As Dino is going to have to wait. As you can see now, he's starting to struggle with the rear end a little bit there, as you can see there on the curb. As he touches now, he's got Game Freaker all over him behind, and Dino's having a bit of connection issues, as Bugatti is trying to get past CC right now. He knows he's quicker, but he's going to have to wait his turn, as we could see basically a Hamilton and Rosberg from 2014 with the Alfa Romeo drivers right now, as they're now starting to try and pull away from Dino, and it's actually working. The gap already 7 tenths. As Dino's really struggling there. He's almost 1.2 seconds off his personal best lap time there. As Dino's actually starting to crawl back to the Alphas, but nothing to answer right now, and I think Game Freak is going to get an easy overtake. And Dino has got plenty of ERS, so he's not using his ERS yet. And the race point's going to use all his ERS, and Dino's still got like 50%. So Game Freaker is probably going to have to send it if he wants to try and make it past him. Oh, a bit of contact there on the left side of the racing point, the right side of the Ferrari. As we see Ulrich now just being overtaken by Nano Bacon, and he's probably going to get overtaken by Suddy. if he doesn't get a good exit. He's okay for now, but will he send it? No, not at the moment, and he's got to watch out. That Red Bull is just shocking on power, and he's just losing so much time around here. As we go back on the action at the front, as we can see Game Freak getting really close now, as the Racing Points and the McLarens are really hungry to get past the Ferrari, and Dino is just playing it safe right now and just buying his time. He's got plenty of ERS, probably plenty of fuel, more fuel and more ERS than probably Bugatti. Actually, CC and Bugatti have actually saved plenty of ERS actually as well, so the top three are doing brilliantly on ERS, but the Alfa Romeos are just pulling each other along to try and pull away from Dino and try and get that gap, as Matt Romano now has just overtaken Juho Finn. We missed that, and Matt usually lets people through, but it looks like it's the other way around today for the Mercedes team. Juho is now in 16th and Matt in 15th there, and unfortunately that won't be points yet unless there is a safety car, as Dino is under threat again. Will he be able to hold it? Juho Finn picks up a 3-second time penalty, as the Ferrari is pulling away on the straight, using all of its ERS as it can. As Callum Anderson makes his pit stop, he's going to try the undercut strategy on the two-stop bar as Dino goes deep. Has that opened the door for Game Freaker? As Dino doesn't get the best exit, Game Freaker does. Game Freaker's now sending it. Dino's now realised this. He's going to have to hold the outside line. Is he going to make it work? And unfortunately, it's still side by side. Oh, a bit almost contact there. Dino, good driving to keep the car under control on that Ferrari there to avoid the contact. Game Freaker then moves to third. Dino now drops to fourth place, now under threat by the other McLaren of Sam Thompson. And remember, the other McLaren of Callum Anderson has done the undercut, so he is going to be a lot quicker than these guys who've done 6 laps already on those soft tyres, or will be doing 6 laps when they go back around. As Sam's trying to go around the outside into the banking there, he's just realised how struggling the Ferrari is with Dino. And Cowboy is just waiting his turn. He hasn't got anything to lose yet. You know, he's buying his time, working his way through the field slowly, and they're just going to have to wait. But now, Game Freaker will be now trying to catch up with Bugatti and CC. Sam Thompson is thinking to have a look there, but goes back to the racing line. Will any of these guys peel into the pits though? That's my question. Yes, Game Freaker's in. So Game Freaker's following what Callum did, and nobody else is actually. That's interesting. So Game Freaker and Callum are in the pits. Are these guys going to try the one stop or something? As we see now, Sam Thompson trying to make a move on Dino, gets the move. Dino tries to switch back, going to do another switch, activates ERS. Sam has a shocking exit, the worst exit I've seen round there, and Dino just says thank you very much and gets just back. Sam Thompson maybe try and send it again, but can't at the moment and has to buy his time. But Dino gets a bad exit, and Sam Thompson is coming back, trying to make it work with the McLaren, but has to wait his turn. He knows he's a bit quicker than Dino, but he could easily make a mistake, go deep, and Cowboy could easily make a interesting overtake as Cowboy almost runs into the back of the McLaren, then the McLaren almost runs into the back of the Ferrari. So these guys are having a nice little battle for third place, as the gap to guys at the front between Bugatti and CC is 3.3 seconds, and to the leader from Dino is 3.8. So they're losing a lot of time as there's action all the way on the track, as now Sam's looking for another move. Now that's a late send there, and he sends it. Dino sees him. Is Dino going to go side by side through here? He is going side by side. Sam sees this. Sam's got to watch out. You can't really hold it around the outside. He's going on. He sent him round. Sam has just sent Dino round, and that's not good for Dino. That's ruined him there. Sam should have paid attention there. He's still there, and it's just unfortunate with the contact. It's going to hurt Dino in the race, but as I said earlier on, there could be a safety car. But Cowboy peels into the pits now as well. So the top three, have they ruined their race for not pitting yet? As let's see who the gap to the leader is from Callum Anderson. Hang on a minute, is that a Ferrari who's just spun? I think that was Sutty there, just made a mistake. No, it's a Red Bull. It's Ulrich. Ulrich has gone off, and he has got wing damage out of turn 3. And that's not going to help his chances to score points today. So he's now going to have to come to the pits, get a new front wing, and go either the hard tyres and try to take him to the end, or go in mediums, because I've noticed Cowboy and Callum Anderson are on the hards and they're going to the end. or going to try to go to the end. The gap from Callum to the leader is, oh, Callum there drifting a little bit there, 25.5 seconds at the moment. Callum isn't really gaining time on the two front runners. Sam Thompson now is 5 seconds. So the Alfa Romeos are doing incredible teamwork to pull away from the guys of the rest of the grid. And I don't even know if they're actually teammates. Are they actually teammates? Let's have a look. No, they're not even teammates. Bugatti's on his own, so they're just helping each other out, pull away. And Bugatti isn't going to make the move yet. So we'll go on board with Ash there. So the two Hasses fighting with Sutty for 5th place at the moment. Sutty's on the top. CC peels into the pit, so he has made the call to pit. And Bugatti's now probably going to push to try and get the advantage and try and overcut him as the other Ferrari of Sutty goes in the pits now. And neither Haas are pitting. And these two may fight, Greeny and Ash. Going down the straight. He's not close enough to make a move yet, unless he absolutely sends it. But as CC now is leaving the pit lane. Go on board with CC. See if he's actually lost some time as he's leaving the garage. As he's actually going to get jumped by Game Freaker almost, it looks like. Game Freaker's on a 2-stop. Oh, as Game Freaker's trying to send it, he's alongside. CC has to see this. Game Freaker lifts off, bit of contact there with the tyres. He's going to get DRS and ERS, but is it going to be enough? Not at the moment, but Game Freaker is on a 2-stop strategy. Callum Anderson and CC are not. They're on a 1-stop. And they're going to the end. So this is interesting what Game Freak is trying to pull off on the strategy call. As we can see, the gap to CC and Bugatti is 21.9 seconds. So it's roughly in that pit window. And I think Bugatti is going to be behind Game Freaker. But if CC and Game Freak get held up by Juho, Bugatti may be actually able to keep the position where he is at the moment in the net lead. We'll just have to wait and see, as CC is holding a bus right now and keeping CC and Game Freak and Callum almost behind. Another lock up there for Game Freaker, as he knows he's going to be a lot quicker on these mediums. He's going to have to get past CC, but CC's not waiting and making the overtake on Juho. Juho doesn't really fight. Oh, almost moves back to the race line. That could have been dangerous, because if he got rear-ended, that would have been CC's, in a way, CC's fault. But will the Mercedes fight back? And it looks like he isn't, as Bugatti did pit. Bugatti's leaving the pit lane, as, oh, we can see a fight further ahead as it just didn't switch. We can see Game Freaker now making a move on Juho, moves into 6th place. Juho drops to 7th, and Game Freaker, as I said, did get ahead of Bugatti, but he's doing the 2-stop. Callum, on the other hand, has gained a lot of time on the Alfa Romeo drivers, pitting 2 laps, I believe, earlier, as we're having the rev glitch with him for some reason, as Sutty and Dino, the 2 Ferraris, are fighting for 13th place, and Dino has got the upper hand at the moment, as Sutty may try and re-overtake, but can't make it work at the present time. As we go back on board with CC, who's now looking to make an overtake possibly on Matt Romano. Will Matt Romano defend, or will he just let them through? It's be interesting, as we can see Bugatti now making a move. Juho, Matt's not defending, lets him through basically. Doesn't really want to fight. He's on a different strategy, and I respect that. Oh, Game Freaker. Did Game Freaker just... Yes, Game Freaker's hit him. Game Freaker has just hit Matt Romano, and that's given front wing damage. Game Freaker has got front wing damage, and that 2-stop strategy is basically just been destroyed. Oh, and this Mercedes almost come to blows. What's happened to Matt? What is going on here? Matt Romano has just lost complete control there. And what's happening to Game Freaker? He's now letting everybody through. Is he retiring in the pits? As Paris says, Callum's not making it to the end. I don't know. I think you can make it probably to the hards to the end. I've seen people make the hards last a lot longer than that distance. As Game Freak is in the pits. Now, is he retiring and leaving the session, or is he actually going to make a scheduled stop and try and fight his way back through the fields? We're back on board with Callum Anderson right now. As we see, the Ferraris are still squabbling away for position. As Ulrich picks up a 3-second time penalty. As Bugatti's now losing more time to CC, and Callum's keeping up with him. As Mr. Cowboy is now ready to make a move on Matt Romano. Hopefully the racing point doesn't actually collide into Matt this time like Game Freaker did. And Matt just lets him go. And now Matt's under threat by Sam. Yep, Sam's now basically saying let me through. And Sam is going to go. He's losing a little bit of time actually doing this. I would have taken it on the next straight because you would have had DRS and ERS and you would gain the time you lost. But that's the way you want to go. And it says he has DRS. So I'm guessing he has DRS failure or something like that. As Matt Romano now is under threat from Nano Bacon. But Nano Bacon isn't sending it. No, but Matt just lets him go. And if I remember correctly, Nano Bacon actually may have a penalty for this weekend. Let's have a look. Could be completely wrong. Yes, Nano Bacon has a 5-second time penalty actually from what happened in China with me and him, unfortunately. So his 5-second will be on this round. And Sabetti, who's not actually here, will have a 10-second penalty when he comes back. So whenever he races again, Sabetti will have a 10-second penalty. As Juho and Sam Thompson have a nice fight. Oh, there's contact. Was there wing damage to the McLaren? I don't get how. That was a big hit. A heavy hit. He's now going on the outside, drifting a little bit. He's now under threat by the Renault. Renault of Nano is saying thank you, and he's getting the move. These two are going side by side. The Renault's holding it. The McLaren's trying to come back. Nano's basically trying to get a slipstream with Duo as these two are fighting. Duo runs off wide on the track. Sam, oh no, we're not going 3 wide here, are we? They're trying. Oh, Duo's had a bit of contact. Oh, Duo's round. Duo has spun. There's contact. Oh, there's a Ferrari off. Dino tried to avoid the Mercedes. And, oh no, Sutty is out. And that's his wheel. The Ferraris have come to blows like Austria this year. And like PSGL F6 with Jerry and Diego. Oh, that is a shame there for Sutty. He is out on the debut in the Ferrari this weekend. There's a safety car. So Game Freaker has been saved. And I said there would possibly be a safety car in this race. Well, Bottlehaug, basically, there was contact between Nano a bit and Sam and Duo. Duo lost it. I think Dino tried to avoid because he probably didn't expect the car to ghost and slowed down, so he wasn't expecting it, and then boom. So there's wheel as a lot of people make their pit stops. And I definitely now think Callum can make those mediums go to the end. As everybody else ahead of him, who's on used hard on mediums, it's going to be very interesting. Well then, while we wait for the rest of the field, AMS currently in first place. On medium tyres, we'll have to pit of course, go hard tyres, but it could have cost him time and he may have not been even looking for a win or a podium right now. Both Haas drivers are sitting well, but they're going to have to double stack, and that isn't good for them. And the Alfa Romeo boys may decide to pit or try and hold track position on hard tyres. So we could see AMS still come out in the lead of this race on the safety car. Just have to wait and see then. So AMS is now coming around the final corner, expecting the Delta, and is peeling into the pits for his pit stop. And both Haas drivers go into their pits. Will the Alfa Romeos pit then? CC's in, Bugatti's not. Bugatti's staying out on hards. Now that could be a mistake from him, because yeah, he's going to be on the harder tyre, but he's going to be on the slow tyre. These guys are probably going to be on fresh mediums, some of these, like Greeny, Ash, and Ash is actually losing time actually. CC's going to be on mediums. The only guy who's not, who's going to be fighting with him, is AMS. So that's interesting that he didn't pit and risk the double stack. And good evening, Lickle. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat. As Sam now leaves his pit box, as the McLarens didn't double stack, but Callum gets ahead, as Ulrich Jr. is just going to get ahead of him with Cowboy just behind. But will Sam hold his own against Nano Bacon? And yes, he gets ahead of Nano Bacon there, so Nano Bacon goes to 10th. Dre, who's looking good for the championship, second place currently in the championship by a point off his title rival 3 Gloves, is in 11th. Game Freaker, after that spin and wing damage he got from Matt, in 12th. Dino back into 13th after, unfortunately, he tried to avoid another car and basically killed his teammate. It wasn't his fault, of course. In 13th, Duo 14th then. Three Gloves 15th, and Mr. Matt Romano in 16th with the double stack with the Mercs. So he'll try and catch up with the safety car as quick as possible. As we go on board with the leader of the safety car. The safety car definitely won't be in this lap. Probably be in next lap if Romano or Matt or CTS Demon can catch up in time, as it's interesting what strategies people have gone. Like, some guys are going to mediums, some guys are going to hards, so it's very interesting. Right now I think the winners are going to possibly be Greeny, CC and Ash, because yeah, Bugatti may be on hards, as I said, AMS on fresh hards, but they're going to be a lot slower, so it's going to be very interesting how the race goes on. Oh, please don't tell me these two are trying to overtake each other. Don't get too close because you'll get penalties. Best thing is, nobody's actually rage quit since I've been doing comms, so that's good. Oh no, please. Oh, phew, it was actually Game Freak appearing in the pits. I thought someone actually tried to overtake off track and go on track on the safety car. So he's pit then. He's going to mediums. He's going to be at the back of the grid. He's going to have to fight his way through the field because nobody else will be pitting now. Not even the medium runners. So he's actually going to have to fight his way through and just push like hell, as he'll be in 16th. And if he wants a podium, he's going to have to hope for a miracle. Safety car should come in this lap. As long as everybody catches up within in sector 2, I think the safety car will be coming in. Safety car should come in and stop then. Everyone has caught up. Game Freaker is there. So let's have a look at the positions gained and lost with the safety car as well. Biggest position gains at the moment is Amos and Greeny. Amos gained 12 positions, Greeny's gained 14. The biggest losers on positions lost is Game Freaker and Dino. They both lost 11 positions. And CC has remained in 4th, with Nano Bacon also remaining in 10th. Very interesting in that, as Matt Ramon has actually gained a place from the start of the race. Safety car is in the stop, so we have got the confirmation from race control. Only a couple of people have done a 1 stop, a couple of people have done 2 stops, even a 3 stop there from Game Freaker. And the fast lap is currently held by Bugatti, which is a 30.6. However, that lap probably may be beaten by the medium runners, as he's on 4 lap old hards. As any second now we should be going underway. Yeah, he's just getting them ready. So he's not gone yet, that's interesting, but he's gone now though, and he's had a great restart. And look at Greeny, already trying to go alongside AMS, but AMS is not having it. AMS is holding his own on the Renault with a slipstream with Bugatti. And CC in 4th place. Anybody making moves? Oh, that's Greeny. Greeny now into 2nd place. Dives on AMS. Makes the move on those mediums. And Greeny is looking good now to try and catch on Bugatti. As Dre now is having a fight with Nano Bacon further down. Lost the position. And that's the only overtakes we've had so far. So let's go back on board with Ash Best right now, who's currently seeing the fight between AMS and Greeny, as AMS is trying to come back. But AMS is on fresh hards compared to those fresh mediums. I think the mediums will win. You can just see the grip difference there with the dirty air. So Bugatti, you're in trouble because Greeny is all over you right now on mediums and probably will be making the move in the next couple of laps, because there's no way those hards can defend from fresh mediums. However though, Matt Romano, God, that's not like Matt. He usually doesn't get penalties. Mr. Romano's got a 3-second time penalty added to his time, so that's unfortunate for him. No overtakes at the moment yet. Actually, yes, there is an overtake. 3 Gloves have now just got past Dino. So, and they're still going side by side through the S section. We saw what happened earlier on People going side by side. As now, that is McLaren. That's Sam now going trying to make a move on Cowboy. As Dino and Game Freak are fighting further behind. As look at the straight line speed of that racing point. It's got a lot of straight line speed there. Although we'll go back to the battle for the lead. As Nanabekin picks a 3-second time penalty. Bugatti is holding his own right now and pulling away. I don't get how he's pulling away in the straight line there. Anybody making moves further down the grid? Yes, there is. There is a Sam trying to make a move on Cowboy. Almost hits his rear end as Dre is making a move on Nanabekin. Game Freak is now making a move on Three Gloves. We get a nice rear shot there. As it's probably going to end in tears in a minute if they're not careful, as Game Freak has already moved to 12th from 16th and now is going to take 11th place from Dre. So Dre then is trying to score points, and right now it doesn't look like it's going to go his way as Game Freak now makes the position and passes both Torres. His next target will be Nanabekin, who's just ahead, and then that is Sam Thompson yet again, just trying to send it everywhere, and that's a Red Bull. Ulrich Jr. is round again. And luckily no wing damage this time. He's struggling in that Red Bull rear end grip. And he will now be back at the grid in 16th. And a lot of work to do to try and catch up with Matt Romano and Juho, who's currently 15th and 14th place. As we're going on board with Callum Anderson now, who's looking quick and trying to catch up with third place. As you can just see now, CC's basically getting annoyed that he's been behind AMS. Losing so much time. He's actually going to go on board with him. And let's see how much he gains in the braking zone on those mediums compared to those fresh hards. And Amos is locked up as that opened the door for CC. Does we get a rear shot? Yep, CC's had enough. He wants to move and he's going alongside AMS right now as they're going neck and neck down the straight. As there's no overtake there from Sam on Cowboy. He's too far back. But we've got a confirmed overtake that CC has moved into third. But what about Mr. Ash Best? Will he be able to come back and actually fight his way through? Has he got the straight line speed? He's gaining. Is he going to send it? He is sending it. He just dives it through there. Got the break in. Has a bit of contact. But gets the move. And look at Callum. Callum is making a move. He's now in 5th place. He said he possibly couldn't even win this race today. But right now, he's in 5th and looking good for a podium. Or even just high points right now, and looking to now target Ash as AMS has dropped all the way down to 6th place, just within half a lap. And Callum then will be now trying to catch up with Ash, CC, Greeny and Bugatti, all fighting for the win today. And Bugatti is now getting caught by Greeny. Gap now 5/10, so those mediums are definitely a lot better than those hards, and those hards will be starting to get a bit slower, to be honest, than those mediums right now. As we're on lap 18 out of 29, plenty of laps to go. Is Greeny close up? Greeny just needs to get a good run and use his DRS. His DRS is enabled as well, so he should be able to make it quite easily. The CC does a 30.6 there on medium tyres, so he beats the fast lap from Bugatti, who did a 30.670. So only just beats it. Bugatti, even with DRS, we've just missed a fight further behind. AMS is actually fighting with Cowboy. Cowboy's now going to lose position to Sam. And Sam is now ahead of Cowboy, and Sam may even try and send it on AMS, trying to go around the outside. AMS boxes him in. Can't make it work. Sam's trying to do the copycat what Callum did, but not enough alongside, and has to wait his turn as Juho and Matt are getting close for a fight, it looks like, for 14th place. We'll keep an eye on that. Oh, well, hang on, where has this racing point come from? Game Freak, he just sends it there. I didn't even see him. And the race points now fighting side by side. This doesn't want to end in tears. As Game Freak, as I said, has nothing to lose. He needs to gain all the positions back. Right now, Nanabekin's in 10th. With that 5-second penalty applied, he will lose the point, and Dre actually will score points. So Dre at the moment is sitting perfect right now to score 1 point and actually tie with Three Gloves in the championship, which will then be 52 points. As no overtake yet from Greeny. We'll keep an eye on that fight for the lead, as there's a lot of action in the midfield pack. As is there a close overtake yet from any of the drivers? Greeny's getting close. He actually might send it. He is sending it. Greeny making the move. He's got the position. Bugatti does the switch though. He comes back at him and gets the move, but Bugatti's had a bad exit. There's contact. Oh, that could have ended in tears as we've got a terrible camera. Bugatti now on the inside, Greeny on the outside. The lock up, giving each other enough room to just stay alongside. A bit more contact between these two. And Bugatti and Greeny are going side by side. Greeny takes the lead, and Bugatti now drops to second place, and now is under threat by CC just behind, and Ash and Callum, who's just waiting and letting them pick one by one off by Bugatti. As Nano's gone to 11th now, as these two are fighting side by side, AlphaTauri and Renault. And hang on a minute, Juho has spun it. Juho has gone off, and there's contact there. Big hit there from the Renault. And actually, was that AMS he hit? Or was that... I thought I saw front wing damage. Is that Nano Bacon who's lost front wing? Yes, it is. Nano's lost his left end plate, so this is getting worse for him today. And this is not what he needed, as he lets everybody through to stop holding them up. And that is a shame. As we quickly go on board with Bugatti right now, who's literally on the tail of Greeny. Greeny gets a good exit, but Bugatti is now starting to come back. But watch out for CC. We could see a three-wide moment. We are going to see a three-wide moment. Bugatti almost puts CC into the wall there. Bugatti needs to pay attention as CC now makes the move, goes alongside and tries to take the lead temporarily. Bugatti's still there, holds it as Nanobacon is out, so he's called it a day. So I don't know if his 5-second will count with today's race or not. I don't know if it changes, as CC then takes the lead. And is he going to hold it though? Is Bugatti going to come back? He gets the switch, gets a better exit, miles better exit than CC, as these two are still going side by side. We get a nice helicopter view as they go side by side, touching wheels, trying to make it as clean as possible as they're going now side by side again into the hairpin. Greeny's now going to fancy his chances to re-overtake. He has a bit of contact with CC, which is probably going to slow CC down, and Bugatti's holding it as Greeny's going to try and go around the outside of the double left-hander and can't make it work. So CC is into second and going to defend for his life against Greeny, who's just in third place. As we've got like literally two groups, and then there's some stragglers. There's like group 1, which is fight from 5th to 1st, and there's group 2 all the way from 11th to like 6th. But is CC close enough to Bugatti? He isn't. Greeny isn't close enough. Nobody is close enough. Nanobacon has called it down, so he has left. So he'd be really annoyed how that race panned out. As one lap 22 out of 29. CC's trying to come back at Bugatti. Juho picks a 3-second time penalty. That's the second penalty he's got. Cal Manson in 5th place. So Bugatti's doing a very good job holding first place right now, and he's doing a better job than what AMS doing. AMS was on fresh odds. Couldn't stop them guys passing him. And now he's just holding his own in 9th place right now, going to score at least 2 points. So it's going to be interesting what's going to happen in this race. Will CC take the lead and manage to pull away, or is he going to be like Greeny and just get the position but just not be able to pull away, because it is basically a DRS train. You can see now Bugatti is getting caught up now a lot easier. If Bugatti locks up, that isn't going to help him. Doesn't get a good enough exit, and CC's now answered it. He's making a move on the inside as Bugatti's going to defend. CC's now making the move, goes across him there as Callum Anderson now has just made a move. We just missed that just in the background. Callum Anderson now made a move on Ash. He sees Ash sending it back on him, and he's not having that. And Callum, with his experience in FP, is showing Ash who is boss, and is keeping the position. And Ash has just been destroyed there by Callum. And Callum then in the 4th place, and Ash is going to try and send it there. You can't just dive bomb it like that if you're not going to make the move, because he could have caused a crash there as Callum now, his next target will be Greeny, who's in 3rd place. Callum could just easily get a podium position in this race right now. He's one lap, 23 out of 29. Plenty of laps to go to get a podium. CC now is just pulling away. So, as CC managed to take the victory this early on, or is Bugatti going to be able to claw back at him? Gap now is 0.5 of a second. He's also purple in Section 1, 0.5. As soon as he pulled up past him, he's 0.5 quicker. He's miles quicker than Bugatti, and you can just see it straight away. He's now starting to pull away to an 0.8 gap almost. So I even think he's actually going to pull away on the straight, even with DRS. Let's have a look. CC sets a new fast lap, 30 flat. So from what it was a 30.6, now a 30 flat. He's a lot faster, and Greeny's now starting to struggle to keep up with Bugatti and is under threat from Callum. So right now, as we see Dre and Three Gloves going side by side into turn 1, now into 2. Three Gloves has him at the moment, but will Dre come back at him as it's now his turn? Going around the outside, it's easy on the straight line speed through turn 4. Needs to give each other plenty of space. And Dre then moves into 10th, Three Gloves back into 11th. And this is the closest fight we actually do have on track right now. As Ulrich gets a 3-second time penalty, that's his 2nd penalty of the race. As Matt Ramon will probably be making a move very shortly on him. As the gap roughly from Bugatti and CC still 7/10, and he's actually pulling away even more now. So I think Callum's probably going to make a move on Greeny this lap. We'll actually go on board with that because he isn't close enough, but I think he will be making a move soon because he looks a lot faster, but not with that exit, he's not. And these guys are pulling away from Ash now, 1.1 seconds. So Ash has just lost all pace, and Sam's now starting to catch up. No overtake at the moment, as we see now Three Gloves and Dre, as we get a terrible camera angle. These two are going side by side and fighting their way through again for 10th place, keep switching places. But has Three Gloves got it this time, or is he going to have to be smart, stay behind him and then make a move on the next straight? But it doesn't matter because Dre is now coming back and is making the overtake again. And oh, there's going to be contact this time, and there is contact. Three Gloves, just not enough space there, and almost sent Dre around, and that could have easily ended in tears and possibly gave him wing damage. So that's a shame, as we were having a nice little fight for that last point place. But right now, Callum and Greeny still not close enough yet. Bugatti still not close enough to CC. So interesting what the end of the result will be as one lap, 25 out of 29. Not that many laps left of the race, as Mr. Romano is probably going to make a move on Ulrich Jr. very soon, as he is getting closer and closer each lap. Yeah, I've got to agree, they're a little bit goated. I think Callum's the more Scottish driver though, you know. He's improved a lot this season, Callum has, and he's now losing time to Greeny now. Greeny's now starting to pick up the pace a little bit, and Bugatti's now starting to pick up the pace, so CC's in trouble. CC can't pull away enough, and those moves can't have died already. It's going to be interesting what happens as Ulrich Jr. gets a 5-second time hit for speed in the pits. As Matt Romano then, we missed the overtake because he pit. And Callum gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh no, has Callum done the bottle himself? Has he bottled again? He's just got a 3-second time penalty. That could drop him all the way to 8th, possibly. So, right now it isn't looking good for Callum unless these guys ahead of him and behind him have got plenty of pens. But we'll keep an eye on the fight for the lead. A 3-way fight at the moment as Callum's now starting to drop off, but he's trying to keep up with Greeny as best as he can. Now look. CC is trying to pull away, but Greeny isn't that far off. Well, on that camera angle he wasn't that far off, but on the exit... Is Bugatti close enough? I think he is. And I think he's going to make the move. No, he's staying behind. He's being smart. He's going to go on the next straight. But he has to have a good enough exit. But it's going to be close. Dino makes me with Dre. Dino's now in 11th. So maybe that contact with Dre and Three Gloves giving minor damage. And it's probably costing him time, as he's just lost a lot of time to Three Gloves. So Dino could actually, even with the spin... could actually score a point. CC is now starting to pull away again in Sector 2. But in Sector 3, Bugatti looks a lot quicker on those hards. We're going on board with Game Freaker right now. He's a lot closer to Cowboy. These guys are actually catching up with Sam, who's actually catching up with Ash. He's only just ahead, so Ash has completely dropped off from the top 4. The gap's already almost 3 seconds, so Callum is not going to lose a position if it goes like this right now, because the gap's 3 seconds already. So Callum just needs to basically hold the position he's got, and he'll just keep pulling away from Ash, and he'll get that position. But right now, Sam is in trouble by both racing points. Those racing points are now starting to close in. We'll keep an eye on the fight for Bugatti, but we're still on board with this fight right now, as here comes Game Freaker. He's now making a move on his teammate. Bugatti isn't close enough to make a move yet, but we will keep an eye on it, as Game Freaker on the inside of Cowboy, and Cowboy is defending. Bugatti isn't close enough at the moment, but Cowboy is in trouble. Game Freaker is coming back at him. Oh, little lunge to the right there, it looked like, but no overtake at the moment. It's Dre and Matt Peel into the pits and going for soft tyres to try and beat the fastest lap. The fastest lap they need to beat is 30 flat, which is from CC, who's in first place currently. So it's Junior sets a new fastest lap, 28.394, so he's beating the fastest lap, so CC will not be getting 17 points. Unless he somehow sets a new fastest lap on those mediums. As, hang on a minute, look how close Bugatti is to CC. As CC's tyre is starting to completely overheat, because Greeny's not behind to catch up with Bugatti, but Bugatti's really close to CC. So who is going to win as one of the penultimate lap of this race? We'll be on the last lap next lap. What about CC? Has he used any of his ERS? No, but he's still pulling away on the straights. So who is going to win? Will it be CC? Will it be Bugatti? Or will it be Greeny if these two have a crash? CC's had a good exit, but I don't think it's enough, because is Bugatti going to use all his ERS? He's just tapping it. Just use it all down the straight. I think CC's got it. It's going to be close. He's just use your ERS. You want to make the move, just send it on him. No, I think CC's got it. And then there was one on the last lap. But hang on a minute, I see action further behind. We can see Sam Thompson going for a dive, basically what Ash was doing to other drivers. Oh, and there's contact. Sam's round. Sam will be furious with that. And he goes round. Dino could see an opportunity here to get 9th place, and 3 clubs could even get 10th. But right now, has Sam got wing damage? No. But he has lost plenty of time, as Cowboy is just shoving it at Ash to get out of the way. You're just too slow on those mediums. The mediums are dead. And it's just quite weird already how that Haas on medium tyres can't go around. You can see even the lines at the back of the car. Oh, it's Cowboy loses the rear end, and look who's looking hungry. It's Game Freaking out, going on the outside. Can't make the move work yet, and has to wait a little bit longer. We haven't got that many corners to go till the end of the race. So who is going to win then, and who's going to get the position out of these guys? We will go on board with CC then when he's about to approach the final corner. Well then, here comes CC then, the guy who started in, I believe, 4th place. Has gained 3 positions. It's moved and taken the win. Bugatti takes 2nd then. Greeny will finish 3rd. Callum 4th. And this is how much Ash has lost too much time, 6.4 seconds. And there comes to the line, going neck and neck there. Ash, Cowboy, Game Freak, AMS, Sam, Dino. 3 Gloves stays 11th. Duo will be finishing in 12th place. So even with the contact, a few front wings replaced, spinning around, he's still going to finish in 12th. And just ahead of Dre then. So he'll be happy with that. But will Dre or Matt beat the fastest lap, which is a 1:28.3? But Duo comes to the line. I know he has penalties, so I guess Dre does beat him in the end. Yeah, Dre does a 28.4, just misses out on the fastest lap. But what about Matt Romano? He sets the fastest lap then. He does take it. As MS says, the safety car didn't help me at all. And yeah, I could tell that kind of screwed you over there. If it was a bit later on, it may have helped. But unfortunately, that happened to you, MS. Well then, the guy on the top step this weekend is CC, and it beats Bugatti then, and both Alfa Romeo drivers, first and second, they're not teammates, but it would be an Alfa Romeo 1-2 if they were. And well then, CC will be over the moon with that, 16 crucial points to his name. Bugatti will have 12 points and Rini will have 10 points. So that is your top 3. Then we go on board with Cal Manson, who got 4th place, good result from 7th, and Greeny's had a brilliant result there from 17th to 3rd, so GG to him and was on Drive of the Day. Ash in 5th, Cowboy 6th, Game Freak is 7th, AMS in 8th, Sam Thompson disappointing 9th after the contact with him in Ash, which could have been avoided. Dino 10th, good recovery drive, starting from 1st, had a few little incidents and then he got spun around. 3 Gloves in 11th, Dre 12th, Juho 13th, Matt Romano in 14th. Geez, how many penalties did Ulrich have? 14 seconds worth, goes to 15th. Nana Baker unfortunately DNF'd, and I don't know if his 5 second will be carried on next race in 16th. And Sutty, unfortunate mishap between the Ferraris there. I had a DNF. Clyde and his teammate who was avoiding the other Mercedes. And that is a shame there for Sutty, who's DNF'd, and the only DNF technically who actually lost the wheel. Well then, I won't be doing interviews today because I don't know if I'm going to have enough time, to be honest, because I've got college tomorrow, but I will do interviews next week. So I will now start the countdown procedure. I've been your commentator, Iron Leon, or as Jared Fosbury. This has been PSGL Season 26 FP Round 11 at Bahrain. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, or stream actually, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the action, and hopefully you guys do enjoy my comms a bit more. So we'll be back next week at USA, I believe it is, or it's Canada. Let's actually have a look and get confirmation on that. On the standings, it's actually Canada, so Canada is next week, so hopefully we can see some more action. It's going to be very interesting, see if we have any drivers crash into the world champions, but until then we're going to have to wait. So hope you guys have enjoyed the stream, and see you guys next time. Goodbye for now.